This is my friend Emily.
Yo.
She's super cool. She moves about the world in this effortless way, is really funny and quirky, seems to have her shit together and is absolutely stunning. Your assumption is that she probably has tons of suitors, like this guy. That's Chris Evans of Captain America fame, and no, they have not dated, but maybe they could, and you would be correct, yes, she does, but also she still struggles with dating just as much as you do. To find the right people, awkward first dates, weird hookups, uncomfortable situations, etc. So I spent the last few days with her on a road trip, just chatting about life and dating, and honestly, it was eye-opening. Everything that you and I struggle with, she struggles with too. And yet, she hasn't given up hope. Not yet. This is a story about a road trip with two close friends, sure, but also this is a story about what it's like dating before, during, and after COVID, during the lost year.
Starting now, we're breaking out, but I'm not leaving without you.
My first sexual experience with women was when I was 11, and it was traumatic. I'll save that for another video. But anyway, needless to say, I've had difficulty with relationships ever since. And so well into my 20s, even just the thought of being naked with a stranger was terrifying. So I generally avoided it. Therapy helped. Writing out blog posts and articles and just sharing that helped. But really processing all of the shame and trauma that I generally associated with romantic relationships took a long time. And it's still something that I process to this day. And what I realized was, actually, I'm not alone in this. Like, a lot of people struggle with this stuff, and it's not solely unique to just me. I've had friends reach out and be like, hey, Mike, like, I struggle with that too. And it's really cool to see that because it makes you feel like you're like not alone in this world. And once I started to proactively deal with those things, I noticed something strange. Like, actually, I could be more vulnerable with people and more open with people. And as a byproduct, people were willing to be more vulnerable and open with me. And what ended up happening is, like, romantic relationships didn't feel so hard and so difficult and like such a fucking weight. And it was so cool. And finally, after years of struggling to meet with and connect with somebody who I thought was kind, generous, and thoughtful, I met somebody like that in the past couple of years. And then I blew it up by moving to Japan. Yeah.
What has been your experiences like dating online?
I've had a variety of experiences. I've gone out on a lot of online dates. If you're like bored and lonely and want to meet new people while everyone was shut down, did some like make a drink while on the phone, FaceTiming.
Wait, really?
Yeah. It's actually more fun if there's like an activity.
Huh.
So you're not just like awkwardly
Yeah.
looking into the phone.
Wait, what are some of the activities?
We did a happy hour. So we like make a drink, like on the camera and then like drink it while we're talking. Yeah, it's been good. I think people are ready to go. I think people are like actually ready to, they aren't playing around as much. Like they want to meet up and actually meet you.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
So Emily's planning on moving to California for the next month. And of course, she plans to do some swiping while she's out there in an effort to maybe find some better matches. Here's the thing. Dating while you're traveling is difficult. Most people want to or have no option but to stay planted.
I think it's just a weird time in my life, period, to be dating. So.
Why? Because you're back and forth?
Yeah, because I'm just like always coming.
Here's the thing, dating while you're traveling is difficult. At least like that's been my experience. Women find it interesting and compelling if you're moving around and you're a nomad, but then at some point it's like, oh, are you gonna stick around? And you're like, well, I mean, and that can become problematic sometimes. We're sold this impossible dream that if somebody likes you enough, they'll stick around. And that's true in a lot of cases. But I think it also sets love up to be this like almost mythical thing. And, you know, sometimes it's just not like that. I mean, if you're around somebody long enough, love can be manufactured. These are my friends Caleb and Kylie. They met a couple of years ago when Caleb was in this sort of nomadic phase as well. And initially, Kylie actually rejected him. And I remember talking to Caleb when that happened, and it was such like a heartbreaking, difficult moment for him. But then he just went off and kept living his life and working and doing cool shit. And then eventually they reconnected. A couple of years ago, they got married. And more recently, they had a kid. What's my point? Dating is hard. Emily and I are single, sure, but we're still out there and we're meeting people. And who knows, by the time you watch this, we might have already met someone. At the end of the day, if you're watching this and you're single and you spend a lot of time dwelling on that, my advice to you is the advice that I often just give myself, which is that, like, go and do interesting things, live your life, have fun, and don't worry about it so much. At the end of the day, what it often comes down to is like timing, situation in life, place, and often just luck. And you might luck into meeting the right person, or you might not, but like, just go out there and live your life.
Let's play a game. So I'm gonna give you a very vague location somewhere in the world, and you're just gonna have to guess. How does that sound? Great. Here's location number 1.
Vague location number 2. Somewhere. I recorded this like a while ago. I don't know. Anyway. Alright. I'll see ya.